Keep in mind that I have 13 witnesses on record, on video, recorded, and countless videos showing them stocking drinks more than once right before I get to the drink section in the aisle in the store. And others, such as martial artists, prank calling me. I have it on record. I have a lot of evidence, recorded camera evidence, footage, and people who have tested the drinks, more than one witness to the fuming in my room and car. Of all the rooms in the house, of all the cars that my family has owned, all in the same period of time. So also keep in mind that some of the last things on the list, they talk about surreptitiously or covertly administered in drinks, food, cigarettes, as an aerosol, or fume, right? A gas, a spray. Also, they want to make it impossible to perform physical activity. Okay, the illogical thinking and impulsiveness, mind-altering substances, temporary permanent brain damage, physical disablement such as paralysis of the legs, etc. All right, and think about how I deserve my rightful place in society because I was targeted by the government because I'm the top martial artist and they don't like my views. Before I went to the psych ward in 2011, I had been very outspoken, and in 2009 I started my Illuminati Part 1 series where I gave a factual presentation about secret societies and the histories of their philosophies and activities with valid sources. I have over 10,000 valid sources, interviews with maybe about 40 people by now, and 13 witnesses in a playlist, and I have the interview playlist as well. Look at the playlist section of my channel, or maybe it's on the home page as well. So these are the facts. Okay, do I sound irrational right now? Do I sound confused? This is the morning. They haven't fumed me very much, and I haven't eaten anything. It's 7:18 a.m., and I'm making this introduction after I was very angry making the body of this video. The next clip. I was very angry for a logical reason. Okay, you look at how the victims of MKUltra felt. They're all emotional when they talk about it. They talk about long-term psychological problems, mental problems, and emotional distress. So there's nothing in my behavior that is consistent with mental illness, not even as described by the unscrupulous cowards in the pharmaceutical sector and the mental health sector. But everything is consistent, especially 13 witnesses and dozens of interviews with people who are going through the same thing with covert activity. And the political environment is the same. We are in a somewhat of a Cold War with Russia. Propaganda is a part of it. It's even a part of the presidential elections where they have accused Russia of using technology to influence the elections, i.e. hacking the emails and what have you. Or whatever they accuse them of hacking. I can't remember at this moment. It's not important as the main argument. So when you consider all these things, which martial artist that is famous do you think deserves to be the top when I could beat them fumed and drugged? What, Chuck Norris? In his prime, it took him all these years to become politically outspoken, just to stay relevant. He had to do that. Van Damme, again, now that he's old, he's in some interview talking about the Illuminati in a very ineffective way. Jet Li, Donnie Yen, none of these guys, are politically active. Jackie Chan might make a political tweet once in a while, okay? These people are given their credit because of their lack of political activity. Had they done what I've done before my top martial artist challenge, which launched me to the top martial artist position in American history, they wouldn't be given their credit. They would be suppressed and persecuted like I am. These people took me to the psych ward under extremely suspicious circumstances, putting themselves in a precarious position while doing so and attempting to discredit me. All so they could turn around and say, well, you know, this guy has been discredited. We can do what we want, and we can disable him and do all these things and keep him from taking his rightful place. So not only am I better than these other martial artists who are famous in American history, but my philosophy is superior. My research is vastly, immensely superior, and I need to be heard more than they do. There isn't a reason in the world other than racist reasons that one can make as a logical reason why I shouldn't be given my rightful place. And I did so using the most common traditional, remember, martial arts is about preserving tradition and culture. The most common traditional challenge. My people started martial arts. Okay, what's more traditional than that? Okay, but they're denying the black man his rightful place because of his uncontrolled political activity. This is unacceptable. No, I will not compromise. All of humanity, especially black people who take the brunt of the New World Order, I might add, are depending on me securing my rightful place. I don't need any of you people to help me. Two months and 1 day, it will be official what I've already accomplished, but it will be officially accomplished. What do I need you for? And even if I did, why would I sell out for your help? Even if I did need you, why would I sell out with all that is at stake? No, you spiritual bottom feeders will not have your way. The military, law enforcement, mental health, you will not have your way. The truth will come out. I will get my rightful position, and all of you people will sink to that much lower of a level in the collective consciousness of humanity when they realize how selfish and how petty and how evil you are, and that it was not a coincidence that the government reached out to you people, you gays, you feminists. They knew you had complexes. They knew you're willing to torture people so that you can make people think you're not sick and gain more social acceptance. They knew that you were willing to be very immoral and depraved to achieve things that you have no business trying to achieve. And you were dumb and evil enough to accept their offer. Why would I want to associate myself with that kind of filth? In the history of mind control and of substances that have been used for harassment, disabling, and discrediting purposes, no one has been more of an obvious candidate, and no one has exposed it more effectively than I have. Keep in mind that even now, as I make this video, there's a certain level of these substances or materials in my bloodstream and system that are making it hard for me to communicate my thoughts. They make me more impulsive, so a lot of my videos display disorganized thinking, but you can still see the truth. I would compare it to someone reading the alphabet, for example, though what I talk about is obviously more complicated. And they kind of slip on the letters and every once in a while correct themselves, but they're still reading something that is true, the alphabet. So you see the higher levels of thinking. You see evidence of my high IQ or great intellectual prowess and capacity. But at times it comes out distorted and confused. It's the same with my top martial artist challenge. And some of my older videos that have been slowed down, you see the evidence. The careful observer sees the evidence that I'm the best. And for these reasons, it becomes of the utmost importance for every revolutionary who considers themselves doing things in a way that is in the best interest of the people to expose my story, whether or not they agree with my political stance or not, or whether or not they agree with my politics. Because what I have done is so virtuous and noble, and I am such a clear-cut case, ask yourselves, well, why wouldn't they get the word out? Why would they try to make him make a deal for them to help him? Why are they so selfish? Why are they like your average attractive American woman? A materialistic coward that didn't have the wisdom or heart to stand with him. Why didn't any of them quit their jobs and dedicate the rest of their lives to exposing this if they consider themselves patriots and true Americans in the military? Why didn't they? If they're ready to die for what they believe, why wouldn't they quit the military and expose this? Because they're not as tough as you think they are. They are not as brave or patriotic as you think they are. They are simply just following order, left, right, left type bitches. Think about it. Think about it. And every day they continue to harass and incrementally disable and attempt to discredit me. And to my credit, I have proven them complete scum. I have conquered these cowards over and over again. Every day, victory, victory, victory. As I masterfully articulate my arguments with the facts, like the picture you see on the screen now. That is a picture of the substances that on record they have been working on since 1953 officially, and before that unofficially. Remember, even the space program was for the psychological effects. Sputnik was nothing more than a missile with a bunch of metal on it and a little bit of technology, according to President Obama. The Russians took the lead in the eyes of many, and it was all psychological. It was all propaganda. They hadn't accomplished very much. That's what governments and cowards who are pro-government instead of pro-people do. Things for the psychological effect. That's why I'm so disgusted with the military. With the veterans, it's a little bit different. I'm hoping that they may have learned from their mistakes and have seen that their quote-unquote service was actually a disservice to all of America. So the veterans I have mixed feelings about. But active military I have nothing but disdain for. Complete cowards. Countless people in the military were aware of what they're doing. Countless of them were helping them do it. And none of them, not one of them, had the heart or the love for America to step up to the plate and do the right thing. Coward!
Did MKUltra really end? Have the secret intelligence services and military really stopped experimenting? The answer, of course, is no, they have not. New methods of secrecy, new technology, and of course, the ability to test overseas all help to keep a lid on what is really happening. Without hard evidence, it is very difficult to say what these incredibly powerful organizations are really doing.
You will not be able to cover up your tracks. It's over for you. This is a clip from American Mind Control, MKUltra, a factual presentation.
It has been determined that the use of these materials abroad began in 1953 and possibly as early as 1950. Drugs were used primarily as an aid to interrogations, but MKUltra and MK-Delta materials were used also for harassment, discrediting, or disabling purposes.
And that is exactly what they're doing to me. Come on, naysayers, think.
The truth? Of course it continues. Of course new methods of control and mind manipulation are still being sought. Genetic research, new technologies, computer surveillance, control of all the media, including the internet, films, documentaries, advertisements, celebrities, academia, and so much more are all used by all secret services around the world, and it will never change. The only thing we can do as individuals is to remain individuals, to know our own mind, to question everything we are told. We either want out of the matrix or we're happy with.
Resist, defy, transcend. Here we go.
10:16 later at night.
Wow. Only people could see the original. Badass. Oh. Those dumbasses who think that I can't go longer. Even fumes.
Real quickly, so you all know, this clip's gonna be longer. Usually I like to do less than 20 seconds because it takes me like 5 minutes to upload a 20-second clip on my channel. Or I have to go down the road or wait till I go to town.
Till tomorrow for
so
this.
That's part of why. The other reason is they're filming me every time I lift weights, do push-ups, do martial art exercises, do combos. They're always filming me, and it dramatically sedates me. It's an instant sedative. It's like inhaling marijuana where you have an instant head change.
Off top.